Good morning, boys and girls. It's a Tuesday. Welcome to another day of distance learning. Let's get started with our how to draw a video as it relates to two-point perspective. If you recall, at the very beginning when we started this journey together, we drew one horizon line across our page. And look at how far we have come since then. We talked about a vanishing point to the left, a vanishing point to the right. If the structure itself would continue on further, it would fade in the direction of the vanishing points. And that's what gives it such a nice look in terms of realism and perspective. I've got my number 2 pencil, large pink eraser. This is a blending stump that I'm going to use a little bit today. Essentially, it's just a rolled up piece of paper that has been kind of tapered to a point at the end, and if you can tell, it's dark on the tip because it's used for smearing and smudging graphite, charcoal, pastel, and it'll give our smoke that is coming soon from our chimney a cool look. I hope you were able to take a peek at that picture that I had posted this morning. It was a little preview of today's drawing, and hopefully that will help guide you along the way and help us to continue adding to our already wonderful piece. Okay, I'm going to begin with a chimney on the roof, okay? And the chimney is not very high up above the roof. It's basically going to be about 3/4 of an inch, which this is probably hard for you to see, but this is a 1/2 of an inch. This is a full inch. I'm going to draw it about 3/4 of an inch above my roof. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a location on the rooftop itself. There's 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to draw me as straight a line as possible. So it looks like it's a little antenna rising up above the roof. Okay? All right, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my 2 vanishing points, 0 edge of the ruler at the tip of that new line I've just drawn. I'm going to draw a 1/2 inch line towards the right vanishing point. Oh, I've got a little tail there. Let me fix that. It's going to be like an arrow tip pointing towards the sky. And I'm going to turn my ruler upside down this time because I don't have a lot of room here to the left. 0 edge, 0 tip of the ruler at the point of the arrow there. And I think I said we were going to slant towards the vanishing point 1/2 inch in each direction. So that's what I've done. Let me darken in this line a little more because I accidentally erased some of it. Okay. And let me darken in this line. Alright, now what I'm going to do is just square off the chimney. This line here, I'm going to make it as straight as possible when compared to the first line I drew. Remember, those are parallel lines, 2 lines which will never cross. And let's square it off on this side as well. And there you have a pretty cool looking chimney. Now you may want to add bricks to it. So when you do that, you do the lever technique with the ruler. No measurements involved here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press tightly to the right vanishing point. And every so often, I'm going to move it like a lever trying to keep an equal distance between. I might be able to get a line, thin line there at the bottom. Trying to maintain an equal distance there. There. That looks kind of cool. Okay, now it's just like the edge of the house. I'm putting little points where the line meets the corner of the chimney. And I'm going to turn my paper a little bit sideways. Here's my left vanishing point. This will allow me to put the bricks in on the other side of the chimney. I won't be able to put a line in for that last little section because, see that little point there? The rooftop here is blocking my ability to put a fourth line in there. So we've got some nice sections on this side, a nice section on that side. You can leave it as is, or you can do our little brick pattern that we had discussed when we were talking about the siding for the house. It's the same premise. Also regarding the shingles, it's the same premise. Okay. So if you want to make some smoke coming out of the chimney, what I'm doing is I'm holding my pencil like a piece of chalk, and I'm doing these gestural scribbles, and I'm allowing the graphite from my pencil to scribble up this puff of smoke. And then what I'll do is I'll take this little blending stump and I'll smudge and smear that smoke to give it a neat look. Sometimes I even go back and put in a few deeper, darker areas. That should be fun for you to mess around with. Now, if you don't have small enough paper to roll up to a tip, there's a couple other things you can do. You can use your finger. You can use a tissue. Sometimes you can even use a stick, like a lollipop stick, to smudge or smear around some of that graphite. Okay, excellent. Let's move on here. One of the other things I had mentioned was to start thinking about some inner details of the home. Because the reason we created such a large bay window was so that you could create some details inside of it. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting in some pulled back curtains. Let's put a few wrinkles in there. And lots of times I'll draw me maybe a lamp. There's the lampshade sitting on some type of a table, perhaps. Again, use your imagination. go on the internet and look at some pictures of some things you'd like to draw and make happen inside your house. And I don't know if this is going to be a picture hanging on the wall or the flat screen television. Who knows? But it's fun to put in these little creative details and polish up your drawing. Okay? So what I want you guys to do today is I'd like you to work on a chimney and work on some inner details as relating to the picture. Whatever you can dream up in your imagination, go with. Draw some stuff on the inside. I think I mentioned last week that you can make it whatever theme you want it to be, a sports theme, a flower shop, a bakery, a workshop, an art studio. Whatever you can dream up, put it down on the paper. Okay, so I'd like you to work on some inner details of the house, the chimney, and don't forget about the siding that we had discussed yesterday. And one last little thing before I sign off is, those of you who are going with logs on the home, what you can do is, if you have carved out the log, you can put these little squiggly lines that give the indication that the log is truly tree-like and bark-like, and those are some of the squiggly striations. And sometimes on these ovals I put the tree growth rings, which look kind of cool. Okay, so these are just some little tricks that I've learned through the years that help enhance your drawing and make it look really, really nice. Happy drawing for your Tuesday, and we will be talking very, very soon. If you owe me an assignment from last week or the week before, if anything is late, please get it in, boys and girls. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.